But I thought still in my mind that I could attain this love, this joy, this peace, whatever it was, through my own self-effort. I thought that just by being a good enough person, I thought that just by reading enough books, I could get to that place of peace and joy that these people had. But sadly, that wasn't the case. And as I looked at the world around me, as I saw the political turmoil in the world around me, I was crying out to God. Even though I didn't believe in God, I was crying out. I was like, why is there all of this turmoil in the world? Why can't people get changed on the inside? And why can't I get changed on the inside? Because you see, the political turmoil that was happening at the time and the political turmoil we're seeing now was nothing compared to what was happening in my heart. For the first 24 years of my life, I suffered from a condition known as acute anxiety. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be shaking and crying out in my sleep. I'd have this terror which would grip me when I was asleep at night. I also had this. The condition also affected my physical body as well. So for the first 24 years of my life, I was covered in these rashes from head to foot. My parents thought it was eczema, but in reality, it was anxiety-induced self-harm. So when I was on my own, I'd pick up stuff and I'd scratch my skin with it, and I was covered in these rashes. My whole body was covered. My parents couldn't work out how to get rid of this. My mum sent me to a witch doctor. I had like every sort of medication under the sun. I tried doing meditation when I was in Oxford as well, just sitting quietly for 45 minutes a day. None of this stuff changed it at all. I still had the condition. It wasn't until I saw something happen that I got healed. Then when I was 24, I went on a Christian camp, one of these sort of Bible week type things. Still an atheist, and someone said to me, "Have you thought of telling God how you feel?" Get this, right? Someone comes up to an atheist and says, "Have you thought of telling God how you feel?" Right? Now, I said, "Do you know what? I've never tried that before." So in a tent, 200 people there, a lot of people crying out to God. I tell God how I feel, about how angry I am at Him, that my anxiety is at its worst when I'm in church. Get this, right? It wasn't church that healed me. Church is great, I love church, but it wasn't church that healed me. Because I was at my most anxious when I was in church. So I cry out to God, I say, "God, I'm really angry with you." I cried out to empty space, and empty space kind of spoke back at me. It was weird. It wasn't with a voice I could hear, it was with a voice I could feel. And over the course of the next 2 weeks, I used to wake up in my flat, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and this voice would be speaking to me. This voice I could feel in my heart. And it was saying something really obvious. It was saying, "Tim, do you believe that I rose from the dead?" Now it might seem like a really freaky thing to happen, and I thought, this is a bit weird, right? I mean, I'm an atheist, remember at this time. But this was what was happening to me. You see, I was going from being an atheist to being a believer, and how does that happen? I believe it happens with a few different stages. These stages are what we call the full gospel. So, how does a full gospel work, right? The full gospel has a few different elements in it. Firstly, you've got to hear about Jesus. You've got to hear that there's